Historical approach Montessori method. The Montessori method is the method developed by Dr. Maria Montessori in the early 20th century and is also one of the foundation of historical early childhood pedagogy. Montessori saw children as independent learners who had inbuilt interest in investigating their environment. Her style focused on hand sensory based learning in a well thought out setting that incorporated a sense of freedom and other. Materials are sequenced on purpose and in accordance with all the readiness of their development, which could help children realize their pace of advancement and master the skills of concentration and independence. Nolan and Rabin suggest that the idea of Montessori influenced the modern concept of reflective practice by prefiguring observation as a concept of reflective practice by prefiguring conservation as a teaching approach. The teacher is a scientific observer and the entrepreneur behavior and the engagement to generalize experience to the level of the child. This reflect position 2 is further enriched in the current assessment practice in the early years learning framework in Australia. The strategy is also close to the Piaget cognitive theory that acknowledges learning as the internal motivated process of creating knowledge by active exploration. The Montessori philosophy also helped me to promote agency and trust children with making decisions in future ECT role. Independence allow me to create settings that respect various learning paces and development patterns, and observation enables me to identify the emerging competency and interest of each child. The historical approach therefore assists in profound knowledge of autonomy, motivation, and holistic development of children, which continues to be in focus of equality early childhood education. Contemporary approach, Reggio Emilia approach. Our modern approach is based on collaboration, democracy, and creative is the Reggio Emilia approach, which was developed through post World War II in northern Italy. It places children as knowledge co-concentrate who are able to express themselves on the variety of modes, which are referred to as the hundreds language. The environment is the third teacher and it provides inspiration through aesthetic, flexible, and resourceful environment. Documentation, photograph, transcript, and learning panels serve as the assessment and reflection showing the research of the thinker and emotions of children. Irving and Carol Carter note that successful education is a Reggio-inspired relationship or co-learner as they engage in the process of dialogue that respects the position of the children and establish relationship trust. This reflective practice example of professional learning community in which teachers engage in a constant process of analyzing interaction to enhance practices. Equally legit, emphasize intention teaching in a elaborate and collaborative process that demands education strike a balance between guidance and child drive discovery. As the ECTE one, I will be able to combine this learning by creating inclusive learning environment that embrace diversity of storytelling in the line with of outcome 5. Recording the investigation of children will enable me to understand the intention and continuous learning by asking questions by capacity of thinking about children not as the fixed knowledge but as a developing conservation between educator environment and community to the supportive evidence-based pedagogy theories informing practices and Piaget and Vygotsky. The approach into the learning of children in early childhood situation remain to be influenced by the basic theory of Piaget and Vygotsky. The cognitive development theory suggests that Piaget offers the children built knowledge by the active engaging with their surrounding with the stage that are identifiable. The knowledge is developed with learners are playing with material, experimenting with hypotheses, and eliminating cognitive conflict. This is a sample example of the monetary used to focus on discovery the development preparedness. In the case of the teaching, it means creating an experience that promotes investigating, testing, and self-correcting as an opposed improvisation. On the contrary, the social cultural theory of Vygotsky places learning in the context of social intersection. Children learn cultural tools, including in language, by engaging the dialogue and vein together. Framework guiding professional practices ALF V 2.1 and NAQS. The Australian policy framework in the early year area is the Early Learning Framework. Version 2.0 is the national quality standard which form the basis of educational policy in early childhood. The two frameworks synthesizes educational theory into systematic, moral, and sustainable practice that facilitated comprehensive growth of the children. Secure, respectful relation, cultural responsiveness, and a continuous reflective practice are principles of underline the ALF Australian Government Department of Education 2020-22. It helps teachers to consider children of competent, capable learner and to make meaningful and the meaning of relationship and play. The focus on plane-based learning, assessment for learning, and intentional learning is the center of the framework. As the early childhood teacher is the center of this framework. So, when integrating with the ELF outcome 1 to 5 can assist the understanding of identity of the child, a connection, well-being, and learning in discomposition and composition. Communication even better. Well-being and learning is even better. The reflective cycle is that when term observation into an important process of identifying and responding to the individual strength and interests of children. Such alignment, as Nolan and Rabin point out,